Hello, friend, and welcome to the 10-Minute Mind Shift Podcast. I'm your host, Janet Cagle, certified life coach, business strategist, and lover of all things related to up-leveling my life and yours. My goal is to help you experience a mind shift that gets you one step closer to your goals, whatever they are. My goal is not to keep you wrapped up in self-help all day, just 10 minutes. And who doesn't have 10 minutes, right? Hey friend, welcome back to the podcast. If this is the first time being at this shindig, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Let me know your thoughts. I'm not sure if I've shared with you this life fact, but Steve and I have lived in and remodeled 5 or 6 houses, I think, in the last 19 years that we've been together. We've only lived in one house that we didn't do anything to because it was a new build. So, one of the things that we have experience with is bringing a house up to code. Here's the thing about housing codes. You're not required to update your house as the code changes, if it changes, unless you are doing a remodel. And then whatever you are remodeling needs to be brought up to code. Now, it sounds like a pain to have to bring a house up to code, but there are some very good reasons to do it. First and foremost, it makes your house safer, but also forces you to up-level the standards in your home. For example, the single pane window that you replace will need to be a double pane. The shower valve will become an anti-scald valve. Your insulation, should you choose to replace it, will be of a new and more up-leveled standard. The standards of your home go up when you bring your home up to code. The same thing goes for your life. But unless we take a hard look at our life and bring our life up to code, up to standards, we can find ourselves living make-do lives with all of these workarounds that don't serve you. So this is episode number 42, and bringing your life up to code. This is the time of year that people pick their word of the year and they set their intention and their New Year's resolutions, and then typically 3 to 4 weeks in, we have forgotten the word, and the same thing happened with this year's New Year's resolution that happened with last year's New Year's resolution and the year before that. We put them down and we walk away. Picking a word and setting an intention in a New Year's resolution is our attempt to raise our standard. But it's kind of like remodeling a house without first seeing what you have and without asking yourself what the vision is for what you want it to be. 2 very important things to know when you are remodeling a house and when you are creating a life by design. So let's start here. In episode 1, I talk about what we tolerate. And when we tolerate, we are unavailable for the life that we want. We are unavailable to the dream that we can't let go of. We are unavailable for that thing that our soul is yearning for, but because we are tolerating in other parts of our life, it makes us unavailable to it. I want you to think of creating a life by design like you would if you were to remodel a home. I want you to think about raising the standards, bringing your life up to code. So a standard is a level of quality or attainment. And everyone has standards. We all do. The question is, are your standards supporting the life that you want to live, your dream life, or the life that you currently have? Are they supporting your goals or sabotaging your goals? So, for example, if you have a health and wellness goal and you want to be living a healthy lifestyle full of wellness, but you don't manage your mind around food or food chatter, you don't plan your eat and then eat your plan, you listen to the toddler part of the brain and eat according to her standards, that's an example of having a goal that is in conflict with your standard for health and wellness. Your standard is low, but your goal is high. Can you see how this is out of balance? Your standard is tied to exactly how you see yourself, your identity, your self-image. If you see yourself as a woman who always weighs more than 200 pounds, then your standard of living and eating and moving through the universe will match that. By the way, shout out to my sister Barb. She has totally up-leveled her standards, brought her life up to code, her self-image up to code, and she has shed over 100 pounds in 14 months. Now, before your brain goes there, let me make sure you understand which came first. Her self-image had to change first in order for her to release the weight. For so many years, she identified as a woman who struggled with her weight, who will always be big, who will be over 200 pounds. She identified as the big sister. Now she's the little sister with the cute butt. She started seeing herself as a woman she wanted to become. She started making food choices from that place, from her new standard. Her new standard became healthy food versus the drive-thru at McDonald's. So proud of her. This is everything, my friends. Take a look at your goals, then take a look at what you allow, your current standards, and ask yourself, do they match the outcome that you want to create, or do they sabotage it? So, that is the first thing. Make a list of all of the things that you do that do not support the woman or man, the human that you want to become. Find all of those things that you are tolerating from yourself. The overeating, overspending, over-complaining, over-drinking, over-negative speaking and thinking, over-exaggerating what's going on in the world, over-catastrophizing, over-dramatizing, over-people-pleasing. Look at all of it. Take a picture of yourself today. No makeup, no redo. Don't change your clothes. Go straight to the smartphone and take a photo. Describe what you see. What do you love about what you see? Who are you? What is your style? What are your thoughts about yourself? How do you feel about yourself? This is kind of like seeing what you have before you start the demo. Really look at the behind the walls. Look at the wiring. Look at the plumbing. Look at all of it. Check out the floors. Describe yourself to yourself. Then decide who you want to become. Design your new self, your new life by design. Decide how you will talk to yourself, how you will fuel yourself. What will you savor in your life? I mean, really slow down and inhale it. Take it in. Today I had the best experience with Dutch as I was getting him ready to go down for the night. Listen, I have to take my own medicine a lot. I stood with him without moving, without doing anything, without doing something. I'm always doing something. I don't just hang. Today, I just hung, not for long, just for a little bit, and he pressed his forehead against mine and just hung there like he was trying to read my mind. How many moments like that do we miss because we don't savor the moment we are taking in? All right, so back to designing. What promises will you keep to yourself this year? What will you stop tolerating from yourself so that you become available for your life by design? A lot of times, we create our standards or fall into standards due to the standards of people around us. We see that with houses too. Like one house goes downhill and pretty soon all the houses around them seem to deteriorate. I have seen the opposite happen too, though. I have seen one person start to raise his standards for their home and property, and pretty soon everyone on the street does the same thing. Here's what I want you to know. You can up-level your standards and still love all of the people around you who don't. So often I hear people are afraid that they will have to give up their friends and their family in order to make all of these positive changes in their life, and that's just not true. Some people may choose not to come along with you, and that's okay, but you don't have to eliminate anyone in your life that you don't want to, or just because you bring your life up to standard or to code, just because you want to raise your standard, doesn't mean you have to leave anyone behind. We might like it more, and it might be easier for us if everyone wanted to bring their life up to code too, but the point I want to make is that bringing your life up to code is only up to you and not dependent on anyone around you. We don't need hubby to stop drinking if we want to stop drinking. We don't need hubby to do anything in order for us to bring our life up to code. Same goes for wifey, if I have a hubby listening. When we do things just to fit in or that so that people will like us or so that we don't make someone feel bad or mad, we lower our own standards. We are not up to code. When we don't want to make Aunt Betty mad or feel bad, so we eat the cake, when we told our body no more flour and sugar, that's lowering our standard. That's not living up to our code. And just because everyone else is standing around the water cooler talking about how silly the new thing the organization wants you to do is, does not mean you have to do that. That is lowering your standard. That is not living up to code. Decide who you want to be, how you want to show up, and then don't tolerate anything else that does not support that result. Make it non-negotiable to yourself. Decide and then just do it. One of the things that I noticed about remodeling houses with Steve is that we don't get stuck in indecision. So many people I talk to about building and remodeling think it's a nightmare because they just can't decide. Being good at being decisive is a skill. It's a skill that you can learn, and making some decisions today about bringing your life up to code is a great place to start. All right, my friend, I hope that you take the picture and describe what you see. It's a real eye-opener for sure. See where you are in your own self-image and then decide what you want to create. Take inventory of the things that you are tolerating, the things that are sabotaging your goals, and decide to raise your standards and bring your life up to code. All of it. That's what I have for you today, friend. If you are ready to take a deep dive into your life and start creating a life by design, just email me at janetcagle@janetcagle.com. And now, go have the best week ever. That's a wrap of the 10-Minute Mind Shift podcast. I hope that you were able to experience your own mind shift today. Listen, if you're ready to take this work to the next level, I highly recommend Life by Design Academy. It's my one-on-one coaching program that offers you a transformation at the speed of life.